This next.
Straight ahead, were the winds too strong, or is crew error to blame for a deadly ferry accident today in New York City? Plus, a teenager could face charges for an accident that killed a mother and her children, and a community is making plans to remember a family found dead inside their home. Channel 6 News 11 at 11 starts right after tonight's winning lottery numbers.
Tonight, you could multiply your Powerball winnings with Power Play. Hi, everybody. Mike Pace is my name, and this is the official Powerball drawing. Hope you have a ticket tonight for our jackpot, estimated at $119.3 million. First of all, let's find out what our multiplier is. If you invested the extra buck, tonight's multiplier is 5, the multiplier number 5. And here are your official Powerball numbers. Good luck. 29 is the first ball, number 29. Followed by number 6. Of course, several cash prizes in addition to the jackpot. There's number 39. Powerball still to come. We have number 52. Check your tickets carefully. And the last white ball, number 9. And here we go with $119+ million on the line. Powerball is 8. 8 the Powerball, 5 the multiplier. It's the one and only Powerball. Good night.
This is Channel 6 News 11 at 11 with Marty Radovanik, Jennifer Gallen, Tim Rigby with sports, and meteorologist Jim Burton with the Channel 6 Severe Weather Team forecast.
Good evening. Welcome to Channel 6 News 11 at 11. I'm Marty Radovanik.
And I'm Jennifer Callan. A rocking boat, a crash, and people jumping for their lives. A New York City ferry is a mangled mess of wood, glass, and steel after it slammed into a pier.
At least 10 people were killed. Dozens of others were hurt. Some even having their limbs ripped off. And now the search for answers is leading officials to whether the ferry pilot fell asleep at the wheel. Hillary Lane now with the latest from the Staten Island terminal.
A huge mangle of metal where the ferry plowed into the pilings near the Staten Island dock. Passengers who were sitting on that side of the main deck had no chance. At least 10 people were killed, 34 injured.
The boat was shaking a lot, and that's usual. And then all of a sudden, the back spun a little bit, and then that's why I heard a crash. I didn't know what happened.
The accident happened at the beginning of rush hour at about 3:20 in the afternoon.
People who were on their way home, all of a sudden taken from us.
It was windy with gusts topping 40 miles per hour. Did that play a role? It's a possibility.
We are not going to speculate on cause or exactly how it happened. There are clearly heavy winds out there, and whether they contributed or not to the accident, it was just much too early to tell.
The ferry is large, 300 feet long, weighing 3,000 tons. It can carry 6,000 people, but there's no count of how many were on board. Now emergency workers are shoring up the boat and searching for answers to why such a routine trip turned so tragic.
In a bizarre twist, after the accident, the ferry's captain threw himself overboard. He somehow made it home, where he slashed his wrists and shot himself with a pellet gun. He survived, and later during questioning, he told police that he had taken blood thinners earlier in the day. In Staten Island, I'm Hillary Lane, NBC News.
More than 8 months after a deadly traffic accident in Cambria County, a judge is deciding whether the teenager involved in the wreck should be tried as a juvenile or as an adult. Gerald Ramsdorfer Jr. was 17 when his Ford Bronco plowed into a minivan at the intersection of Route 422 and Cardiff Road in Blacklick Township. A mother and her 2 young children were killed. Ramsdorfer is now 18, and the family of the victims believe he should face charges as an adult. A decision is expected at a later date. Police say he's behind several rapes in a total of 3 states. Now police in Florida say David Shuey, who is a native of Center County, should face even more charges. They say Shuey got into his victim's home by posing as a maintenance man. The Penn State grad is also wanted in similar assaults in Connecticut and 2 rapes in State College. Shuey is behind bars in Florida with bail set at $2 million.
A memorial service will be held this weekend for a family found dead inside their burned-out Huntington County home. A relative made that discovery Monday night. The coroner's office is conducting autopsies on the 2 adults and 5 children. It appears they died of smoke inhalation, but they will await toxicology reports to be sure. While foul play is not suspected, the cause of that fire is still under investigation. In the meantime, the community will remember the Breckville family this Saturday afternoon with a church service. A Somerset County family wants to know what caused their house to explode Monday with them inside. Kathy May and her 3 children were home in Central City when an explosion sent the house up in flames. Now, the children were not hurt, but their mother is recovering from burns. May says an employee with Daniel Schaefer's in Hooversville was at the house earlier that day to connect their kitchen stove to a propane line. Local firefighters believe that propane is what caused the explosion, but it remains under investigation.
Recent staff cutbacks at an area hospital have prompted some of its employees to unionize. About 150 nurses and technicians from the Brookville Hospital voted today on whether or not to join a union. Both units voted in favor of the move. The healthcare workers say quality patient care is their primary concern, and they want to be sure their opinions are heard by the hospital's management. Members say the next step is contract negotiations. In the meantime, the hospital's service and maintenance departments have also expressed an interest in joining the union.
Now, your 11 at 11 weather advantage from the Channel 6 Storm Team.
Mainly dry today, but strong winds followed in the wake of a powerful storm that moved through yesterday. Take a look at some of the top wind gusts that had really whipped through this afternoon. Altoona at 53 miles per hour. All this roughly between 2-3 o'clock. State College recorded wind gusts at 49 miles per hour. Du Bois and Johnstown in the middle 40s. And it has been breezy all day, and it continues into the night, even though the winds are diminishing. Taking a look at your forecast into the overnight. Couple of clouds, not as windy, but certainly cooling down, with temperatures expected to bottom out into the upper 30s. We're expecting much more tranquil conditions as we head on into tomorrow. Of course, we'll detail what you can expect as we head on in towards the weekend in your full Storm Team forecast coming up right after the break. Marty?
Dan, thanks. It stands as a reminder of a tragic event in America's history. And now Congressman John Murtha is trying to preserve more of the Johnstown Flood Memorial. Today, the U.S. House passed legislation to expand the boundary of the memorial site to include the historic South Fork Fishing and Hunting Clubhouse and 3 other key buildings. Right now, they're part of the St. Michael National Historic District. This bill would allow the National Park Service to oversee the preservation of these key buildings. Johnstown's famed incline plane might soon slip into history unless someone finds a way to settle a controversy centered on a 10-foot strip of dirt. The Cambria County Transit Authority wants the restaurant at the top of the incline to reopen, and it needs 10 feet of the area known as the mound to make room for parking for that restaurant. But neighbors in the area say leave the mound as is, and they promise to battle the authority in court. The Transit Authority says if the restaurant doesn't open, the steepest incline in the world will be parked permanently.
Time now for tomorrow's headlines tonight. Part of our newspaper exchange with the Altoona Mirror. A state hearing board judge is expected to decide within the next 6 weeks whether New Enterprise Stone and Lime Company should put plans to dig deeper into a quarry on hold. The company wants to dig 50 feet deeper into its Roaring Spring quarry, but the borough of Roaring Spring, Appleton Papers, and others are worried that that will threaten the Roaring Spring water supply. The idea of putting up a large billboard in Logan Township is nothing new, but how large is large? Township supervisors agree they really have no control over the size of a billboard or the information it contains, and they want to change that by adopting regulations that will control billboards in their township. For more on these stories, pick up a copy of Thursday's Altoona Mirror. Well, for those living in one area school district, big changes are coming their way.
While parents in the Chestnut Ridge School District say it'll be a big improvement, it won't be cheap. Katie Collette has more on the plans.
Parents, faculty, and other townspeople filled the room at Chestnut Ridge High School tonight. They've been meeting with contractors for months to talk about renovations planned for the elementary, middle school, and high school. One option is to convert the middle school into a pre-K through 5th grade building district-wide, while making the existing high school a 6th through 12th grade campus. The changes will be huge, costing over $34 million, but the general consensus at the meeting tonight was if it makes things better for the kids, it's worth it.
The reality is that we have to gear whatever we do for the interest of kids, for the best interest of kids, and that's what we're here in the game for, and that's what the public will demand.
Depending on what option is chosen, the renovations could start as early as next summer or as late as this time next year. But no matter what, it looks like students and faculty can expect some exciting new changes. Covering Bedford County, I'm Katie Collette, Channel 6 News.
Channel 6, sports coverage you can count on.
Well, the Chicago Cubs are fighting to get to the World Series for the first time since 1945. They are playing Florida in Game 7 of the NLCS at Wrigley Field. Last report, Cubs batting in the bottom half of the 8th. They are trailing now by a score of 9-6. In the ALCS, Game 6 final is in. The Red Sox stay alive. They beat the Yankees by a 9-6 score. Game 7 will be played tomorrow night. We'll have highlights coming up later in sports. The Pirates may have endured their franchise record 11th straight losing season, but their coaches will all be back next season except for one. Infield instructor Alvaro Espinoza, the team's 7th coach, is leaving to become a minor league coordinator for the Yankees, but the rest of manager Lloyd McClendon's staff will be back. Pitching coach Spin Williams and bullpen coach Bruce Tanner will return for their 4th seasons. Hitting coach Gerald Perry, first base coach Rusty Kuntz, and third base coach John Russell, along with bench coach Pete McAdin, are returning for their 2nd seasons under McClendon. That is your first look at sports. Coming up later, Laurel Highlands cross country highlights and women's volleyball from UPJ. Jen?
All right, Tim, thank you. Well, China has joined a very exclusive global club. Today it became only the 3rd nation to send a man into space, joining Russia and the United States. China says its astronaut Yang Liwei returned safely to Earth after 21 hours in orbit. Chinese mission control called the flight a success, and China has had a rocket program since the 1950s. It began a manned space program in the 1970s and then abandoned it.
Bad news for President Bush in Pennsylvania. A new poll shows Democrats are gaining ground on the president in a state he has visited nearly 24 times since he became president. Mr. Bush's job approval here has slipped to 51%. That's down from 60% in August and 67% in April. Now, a look at some of the stories that we're working on for Thursday.
A community fought to keep their medical clinic open, but now the one-time Geisinger Clinic in Snowshoe could be running into another roadblock.
Plus, the head of one area city is talking trash as he reviews a new garbage ordinance. We'll have that, plus any breaking news, beginning at 5 a.m. on Channel 6 News at sunrise. And that is your first 11 minutes of news, sports, and weather.
Still ahead, some area parents gathered to learn more about how to help their children and special needs. We're back in 60 seconds. You're watching Channel 6 News.
You're watching Channel 6 News with Marty Radovanek and Jennifer Callan. Coverage you can count on.
What attracts you to Chrysler Town & Country? All the great features behind this award winner. A V6, automatic, 7-passenger seating, and more. Topped off by our 770 powertrain limited warranty, it's one of the best values in America. And now get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on Town & Country. Plus, a cash allowance up to $5,000, which includes an extra $500 when you get the Lord of the Rings The Two Towers DVD. But it all ends October 31st, so see your Chrysler dealer today.
There's never been a better time than now to enjoy outdoor living indoors. Enclose your deck, porch, or patio with a 4 seasons enclosure from Bob Showers. Right now, Bob Showers has the lowest interest rates and payments we've ever had. And if you're one of the first 24 buyers, Bob Showers will make your first payment free. Forget the bugs and bad weather. Enclose your porch, deck, or patio now. Call 1-800-WITH-BOB today.
The WJAC Storm Team Forecast is sponsored by SEARS Optical. From Channel 6 News, your exclusive Storm Team Forecast.
Breezy, but not quite as windy as earlier. Finally subsiding somewhat. And temperatures out there right now, seasonably cool, ranging in the lower 40s to lower 50s. Northern farthest, we're in the low to mid 40s. Ridgeway at 43 degrees, Marionville 44, Myersdale chilly at 42 degrees, but elsewhere we're looking 45, Johnstown 48, Altoona at 52 degrees currently in State College. And for the most part, just seeing a few clouds out there. Generally today, just had a few fair weather clouds moving overhead, all associated with an upper level disturbance, but mainly the storm that passed through last night well to the north now, and that's certainly good news. It was a very strong storm, and with it, of course, on the back end, it packed a lot of winds in its wake. Mainly the reason why that area of low pressure continues to move to the north. We have an area of high pressure trying to slide in from the south, and it's between the two where we're dealing with that strong wind flow. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, things gradually easing up in terms of winds, maybe a few breezes out of the west around 10 to 15 miles per hour, but we'll have to deal with another area of a few areas of moisture that we'll have to see come out of the west, and with that, we deal with a passing shower in the afternoon, catch a little bit of a break, and then as we head towards Friday, Thursday night into Friday, some more rain, mainly staying to the south associated with the frontal boundary. So Laurel Highlands, right along the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, dealing with a few showers, nothing too significant, nothing like we had to get through yesterday. Taking a look, no rain, but the strong winds subsided. That will continue to be the case. In the wrong graphic here, the winds gusting today upwards of 40 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour. Tomorrow, much quieter. Just a few clouds, less windy in the overnight. Still brisk overnight lows. Expected to drop down to the upper 30s, low 40s as we look towards tomorrow. Thursday will start off decent. Sun, but a few clouds building in. Later in the morning, a chance of an afternoon shower or two. Just afternoon as well, about 1, 2 o'clock. For the most part, we'll see mostly cloudy skies thereafter as we head on into tomorrow night. Winds, there's the idea out of the west, around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Taking a look at your extended forecast, there you see a few more showers building in Thursday night and Friday morning, but as I mentioned, mainly staying to the south. But certainly the cooler air to filter in. Temperatures expected only to be in the mid to upper 40s for high temperatures. That is expected to continue into Saturday. We will see some sunshine to start your weekend. And it looks towards Sunday that we will warm up a bit. There's still another threat. We could be dealing with a few more showers. And then look ahead, finally, getting back to more warmer conditions. That's what I should say as we head on into a little more sunshine. Sunshine helps to warm things up. That's certainly good news.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks.
Here's a question for all you Jeopardy fans. Who is Sean Ryan? The answer, a part-time Penn State student who has become the first contestant of that game to return for a record-setting 6th appearance. Ryan's 6-day total winnings is nearly $124,000, and he says he'll use the money to pay off his bills.
Coming up on Channel 6 News at 11, it's a controversy that's been going on for over a decade. How safe are silicone breast implants?
The government is changing its mind about the health risks and could be lifting its ban.
Since turning 50, you're really going places. Here's a backing package that keeps up. Lifestyle 50 banking.
Look again.
While you're sleeping, Channel 6 News at sunrise is working hard throughout the night to bring you the latest in breaking news. Count on Bill Brown and Sarah Burgett for information on the stories that affect you most. Plus, Dan Skalski for an accurate and dependable forecast to help your family plan their day from sunup to sundown. Channel 6 News at sunrise, a morning news team that delivers coverage you can count on.
11 years after most silicone gel breast implants were banned, government advisors recommended today the restrictions be lifted, despite some lingering questions about safety and durability. Many women complained the devices were breaking, causing painful disorders. Silicone gel implants are held to a different standard than saline implants because silicone usually leaks slowly, without any warning that a woman that the implants should be removed. Silicone implant manufacturers agreed to do some more research, including tracking their patients' health for 10 years. The recommendation now goes before the FDA for a final decision. From groceries to a new car, you usually shop around for the best deal. Well, now you can get a deal on your prescription drug needs without going across the border. Today, the American Drug Club opened its doors for the first time in the Johnstown area. This is a business that acts as a consulting firm to get cheaper prescription drugs from Canada. It's an increasing trend, but one that raises some questions. Is the savings worth the possibility of quality and safety of your prescription needs?
After years of protests and court battles, a decision in a controversial right-to-die case in Florida, Terry Schiavo has been at the center of a legal battle between her husband and her parents for 13 years. She's been kept on life support since suffering a heart attack in 1990. Her parents had fought in court to keep their daughter alive. Now they've lost all their appeals. Terry's husband argued that she was beyond all help, a view that was accepted by the courts. Today, doctors removed Terry's feeding tubes. Memorial Medical Center held a class for parents who have children with special needs. The program is part of a series of classes that covers a variety of topics. The objective tonight was to inform parents about what they need to do to ensure that their children are given the right care and attention when it comes to schooling and elsewhere. This has become a major issue that calls for cooperation between parents and school officials.
Coming up on Channel 6 News at 11, the Red Sox stay alive against the Yankees.
Tim Rigby has that and more next in sports.
a 6,500-pound towing capacity. Just one of the many reasons the trail-rated Jeep Grand Cherokee is so capable. Get 0% financing for 60 months or a $3,500 cash allowance, plus our 770 powertrain limited warranty. If it's not trail-rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4. The best values in America just got better.
We're ready. Are you? Introducing Ponderosa's delicious, mouth-watering baby back ribs, slow-cooked in a tangy barbecue sauce. They're part of our new Western barbecue, starting at $7.99. Grab a rack today, because they're going fast. Ponderosa Steakhouse. Come on and get it. In a hurry? Grab our ribs and wings to go at Ponderosa.
Fact. Team Nissan is one of Pennsylvania's largest Nissan dealers. Fact. Team Nissan's award-winning service department is one of the best in the region. Fact. Team Nissan customers purchase their Nissans at least $500 less than other dealerships. Fact. Team Nissan averages $500 more for your trade-in than other dealerships. Fact. $500 in your pocket is better than $500 in theirs. Fact. You need to get to Team Nissan today. Scalp Avenue, Johnstown.
This is the final weekend of Wolf Furniture's Columbus sale and your last chance to buy quality home furnishings with zero finance charges for 2.5 years. This 6-piece reclining leather sectional is now only $19.88. A leather rocker recliner half off, now just $3.98. Or this stylish 4-piece bedroom for only $9.98. Plus, receive the footboard and rails free. Look for our sales circular in your local paper. It's the final weekend of Wolf Furniture's Columbus sale.
What if you could see how heat feels? Welcome to today's oil heat. 99.9% clean, 100% warm.
Tonight's sports is sponsored by Saturn.
The Chicago Cubs sent Kerry Wood to the mound tonight in hopes of rebounding from last night's 8-3 loss to Florida in Game 6 of the NLCS, but the Marlins jumped on Wood for 3 runs in the first to put the Cubs in our early hole. However, the Cubs bounced back, took a 5-3 lead, but now they are batting in the bottom of the 9th, 3 outs away from being knocked out in 3 straight. The Marlins lead it by a score of 9-6. Chicago now batting in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Boston Red Sox have forced a 7th game in the American League Championship Series. The Red Sox blew a 3-run lead, but came back to beat New York 9-6 in Game 6 at Yankee Stadium, setting up a Pedro Martinez-Roger Clemens showdown tomorrow night. Bottom half the first, Jason Giambi getting the Yankees going. Solo homer of John Burkett. Yankees on top by a 1-0 score. Top half the third, Jason Varitek. Leadoff homer off Andy Pettit. That tied the game at 1-1. Then, still top of the third, bases loaded, 1 out. David Ortiz singles to left center off Pettit. Todd Walker and Nomar Garciaparra come around 3-1 Red Sox. Next batter, Kevin Millar singles to center off Pettit. Manny Ramirez scores. The Red Sox in front 4-1. But bottom of the 4th, 4-3 Boston, 2 outs. Alfonso Soriano doubles home Nick Johnson and Kareem Garcia. It was a 5-4 Yankee lead. Bottom of the 5th, Jorge Posada solo homer to left off Bronson Arroyo. 6-4 New York. With the score 6-5, top of the 7th, no outs. David Ortiz singles off first base. Manny Ramirez comes around. It was a 6-6 ball game. Then bases loaded, 2 outs. Felix Heredia walks Johnny Damon with the bases loaded. Ortiz scores 7-6 Red Sox. Top of the 9th, Sun Insurance. Trot Nixon, 2-run homer to right off Gabe White. It was 9-6 Boston. That's how it ended. The Red Sox even the series at 3 games each. The 9-6 victory over the Yankees. The Johnstown Chiefs have set their roster for the upcoming season, and Johnstown native Josh Pyra will be wearing a Chiefs uniform when the team takes the ice Friday night in Toledo. The former Bishop McCord star is one of 20 players to earn a roster spot for the Chiefs. The Chiefs cut Mike Ouellette today. By the way, Pyro's former Crusher teammate Chris Carlson also earned a roster spot with the Florence Pride. Johnstown plays its home opener Saturday night against Long Beach at the War Memorial. The Chiefs are also on home ice Sunday afternoon against Cincinnati. A cool day at UPJ for the Laurel Highlands Highlands Conference Boys and Girls Cross Country Championships. More than 100 boys on 10 teams taking the course at the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown campus. Westmont's David Mock would grab the lead and pull away from Jake Strayer of Forest Hills early. When it was all said and done, Mock cruises to the easy win in a time of 15 minutes, 36.8 seconds, well ahead of Strayer. Central Cambria would take the team title with Westmont and Forest Hills rounding out the top three.
I'm happy with my performance today. The third mile, I think I could have pushed a little bit harder, but it was hard because I know Jake was feeling that well today, so he wasn't up as close as he probably should have been. So it was just hard for me to push without him being there.
On the girls' side, 90 runners on 10 teams fighting for position off the start line. And Westmont's Caitlin Urban out to the early lead. She starts to pull away in mile 2. By mile 3, Urban had a huge lead. No one in sight as she crosses the finish line at a time of 19:49.2. That was ahead of Bishop McCord's Brianne Constable, who finished second. Central Cambria made it a team sweep with Westmont and McCord following.
I didn't really expect to win. I mean, I haven't had like the best season. I just hope to be, you know, top 5 up there with the rest of the girls. But winning by as much as I did was such a shock.
After missing 2 games and part of another with a shoulder injury, left tackle Marvell Smith returned to practice today as the Steelers struggle to find stability on their patchwork offensive line, which seems to change from down to down. The Steelers have a week and a half off to sort things out. They play the St. Louis Rams at home October 26th. Here's our lineup for the Friday football final. We plan to cover 11 games. The Laurel Highlands Conference, Bishop McCord travels to Central Cambria. Richland is at Forest Hills. Bishop Carroll tries to stay undefeated at Cambria Heights. Somerset plays at Penn Cambria. In the Heritage Conference, Northern Cambria playing host to Laurel Valley. From the West Pack, Myersdale at Portage. Shade plays at Winburn, and Ferndale goes to Berlin. Also, Indian Valley is at Tyrone. Moshannon Valley visits Bellwetandis, and Brookville plays at Punxsutawney. Those highlights, all the scores, and the team of the week during the Friday football final at 11:15. And the Pitt Johnstown women's volleyball team was looking to improve to 21-5 on the season against Mount Aloysius this evening at the Sports Center. Leanne Summers serving for the Lady Cats. Lady Mounties try to return, but Abby Reshak and Alyssa McKinley both there for the block. Summers serving again. Jill Crum gets it over for the Mounties. UPJ not quite set, but returns the ball. Lori Soha's kill attempt is long. Lady Cats get the point for a 27-17 lead. Then Megan Beaver serving. Krista Miller sets Jill McCoy, who just blisters a shot, but is inside the line. Mounties get the point. That starts the Mount Aloysius comeback, but at 29-25, Lady Cats return, gets tipped at the net. Ball goes out, 30-25 UPJ. Lady Cats go on to sweep the Lady Mounties in 3 straight.
Tim, thanks. It's a shame.
I think they're going down. We'll see if we can get an update here.
All right.
We'll have another look at the forecast after a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers.
If you can't be home for all your news, you can hear us mornings and afternoons on oldie station Cool 101.7 Johnstown, Somerset, and afternoons on 95.3 3WZ State College. And for your latest Channel 6 severe weather storm team forecast, tune into Q102 Du Bois.
For you, quality is a way of life. Buick is quality that moves you. Rendezvous for 2004. Luxury car ride, lockable compartments, plenty of cargo space, terrific highway fuel economy. Now get $3,000 total cash back or choose 0 APR financing plus $1,000 bonus cash on Rendezvous. At your quality Buick dealer now.
Right. Tomorrow sounds perfect. I'll talk to you then. I have an important meeting I'm taking off to. Bye.
In schools big and small, State Farm is there with fire safety presentations.
Talk about fire safety. Tell me what this is. We live where you live.
Being there to to help keep kids safe. That's what being a good neighbor is all about.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All 12 locations are celebrating the grand opening of the newest Roomful Express in Monroeville with incredible store-wide savings up to 50% off, like this 5-piece dinette or this rocker recliner. Plus, get free financing until 2006. Roomful will pay your interest in 2003, 2004, and 2005. So hurry in for unbeatable grand opening savings and free financing until 2006.
Put it all together and sell it for less at Roomful Express.
Guys, I got a great idea how to check out the Greater Johnstown Halloween Parade. We'll fly over.
Dad, Bobby thinks he can fly a broom.
Everyone knows that brooms only fly on TV.
At Laurel Chrysler Jeep, all Jeeps and Chrysler Voyagers are being sold at dealer invoice. Choose from over 50. Hurry while the selection is good.
Bobby, watch out for the boom!
Don't miss this one.
Well, did the winds pester you guys today? Certainly a bit much, huh?
Yeah, you saw
there was some damage
furniture, lawn furniture.
After yesterday. Yeah, well,
garbage
certainly
cans.
things calming down a little bit
That's
tonight.
good.
That's good news, especially as we head on into tomorrow. Taking a look, we can deal with a few more showers, though, unfortunately, early afternoon. And then once again, as we get into the overnight into early Friday morning, clearing out nicely for Saturday, but staying cool with temperatures in the mid and upper 40s. We'll warm up again Sunday. And then, yes, another threat of showers before we dry out and warm up for next week.
I apologize. I really wasn't paying attention. I was watching the Marlins
I know.
and Cubs.
We're all
Marlins
there.
celebrating.
It's all over. Marlins win at 9-6.
Can't blame the guy in left field.
No,
all
he
right?
didn't give up 9 runs tonight.
Blame the
17
goat.
runs in 2 games.
Billy the Goat, yeah.
All right, the
Go
Tonight
Red
Show
Sox.
is coming up next.
Have a good night, everybody.
Closed captioning is a public service of Edgar Snyder and Associates, a law firm representing injured people.